Welcome to Amplify Imagination Podcast, where bold voice, big ideas, and boundary-pushing conversations come to life, straight from the heart of APSS Convention 2025. Our topic for this session is AI and social media in building personal brand. My name is Yina. I'm thrilled and honored to moderate this powerful conversation together with incredible speakers, Larry, Julia, and Evelyn. Before we dive in, I would love for our each speakers to introduce themselves in 1 minute. Who you are, what you do, and how this topic connected with you on your journey. Let's start with Larry.
Hello, Larry Long Jr., CEO, that's Chief Energy Officer. I speak to software sales professionals, helping them to elevate their game. I published a book called Jolt, Jump on Life Today, and I just love having the opportunity to help people leverage the human connection in addition to AI.
And my name's Julia Grace. I am a mental health speaker and educator, and my topic is all around being kind to your mind. And so it's finding ways to have branding that works for the topic, which is quite a heavy topic, but I don't want it to be taken in a heavy way. So I get to speak to people in all different spheres about their wobbly point, getting a jelly buddy, and finding ways to tackle mental health in a way that doesn't bring you down.
And hi, my name is Evelyn. I'm the CEO founders of MOA Digital Media, a video marketing company. So I speak about how do we do personal branding stories to elevate your influence. So from my background of second-gen family business owners, to help my family business to transform from traditional family business into a digital arm in our industry. So now we're actually helping more CEO founders and speakers to craft their personal branding stories to build their influence. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. It's always so powerful to hear that how they land into this room and why this topic matters to them so deeply. Before we dive in to a deeper conversation, I would like to ask these warming up questions. We are in Amplify Imagination Convention. So what's Amplify Imagination mean to you in the context of personal branding? Evelyn?
Oh, right. So amplifying imagination is actually very important for content creator like us. Yes, because we need to get inspiration and imaginations in order to build a good content for people. Yeah, so how do we get that? I mean, yesterday I love what President Sharon has shared, that, we are always get busy in our mind, and other than that, we are just like copy from someone else. So we have to, all the answers actually is inside us. We have to calm ourselves down, sit down, be calm, and let our imagination flow. That's where we build a content that able to connect the heart and soul to people.
That's really speak to our heart. How about you, Julie? What's your taking in?
I love the imagination because as a little girl, I lived in an imaginary world. I had an imaginary friend and I love the idea that something could start as a thought and then end up be a thing. Could be a book, a keynote, a podcast, a piece of content. And so I love the idea that when we expand, we take time to dive into that inner world and use some thoughts to make us stand out from others rather than just using the other stuff that we see. I think finding space to be inspired, but then also to amplify our own imagination, to me, that makes a lot of sense.
Thank you so much for sharing. I can already feel my imagination come to my body and floating in my blood. That's amazing. How about you, Larry?
I love it. Amplify Imagination for me is about intentionality and really being purposeful in terms of how you're going to elevate what is possible and what is not. Who would have imagined that we'd have a gold mic with a group of speakers, just as long as we don't drop the mic? But that is taking it to the next level for me.
No worries. If you drop that, we have 3 more mics to support you. And that is imagination, a gold mic, right? So I think we're ready to really deep dive to have powerful conversation about what we can do differently in this AI age for human connecting personal branding. So I would like to start with Julie first. Yes, many entrepreneurs burn out trying to be everywhere. And I love your idea, your approach as you plus 20%. What do you think that how your approach can make individuals grow at the same time they don't lose themselves?
Great question, by the way. Absolutely love it. So, the U plus 20% equation talks about the fact that if we start with things that feel comfortable and natural to us, we can build from that in a flow state rather than borrowing constantly from others. So, we can be inspired, we can definitely see and learn and take notes. But if we start with the things we're already doing, and I invite audiences, I invite our watchers and our listeners to go back into your childhood and figure out what were the things that you loved to do when you were little. What were the things that you did just in a very, very natural way so that you don't start yourself down a path and then get stuck doing something that feels uncomfortable. Because if you start as, say, a content creator and the very first video you make, you feel forced and you're copying someone and doing a dance, and now you're stuck with it. And now you've got to do that all day, every day, and you feel like it's going to burn you out because you're not working in your strengths. So I think if you find something that feels comfortable, you can expand and grow and make that bigger, but it's gonna fit. So I ask people, I say sometimes if you've ever been on holiday to a tropical destination and you go out to the shops and you get that pair of pants, when you're in Bali and you buy those big pair of Bali pants and you put them on and you think, oh, I look great. These are going to be so good. When I get home to Singapore, I'm going to put these pants on. I'm going to wear them to the office. I'm going to be so comfortable. And then you get home and you put them on and you look in the mirror and you think, I look ridiculous. And so when we learn from others, we don't want to take home stuff that doesn't fit. We want to take home stuff that's natural. So starting with things we already love, growing them, putting our energy into growing and expanding them, but then taking the challenge of pumping it up. 20%. I love your energy, Larry. Making it, because we don't want people on stage who are just small. We don't want people branding that's just boring. We want it to stand out. So we want to dial that thing up. But if it starts from here, then we will grow that in a way that's not going to burn us out. It's going to take care of our well-being, and we're going to be kind to our mind.
That is so deep wisdom. We also talk about our well-being and take care of ourselves. I do feel like this is a bit challenging for most of us to start with. Is there one tip that you can give us? Because there are so many contents, there are so many benchmarking we can make every day. It overloaded in the internet and social media. How we can start this small step to do that?
We go from this concept, done is better than perfect. Just make something, just put something out there and make sure that it feels, and if it's going to be kind of fun and light, then it's low stakes, right? It's low pressure. It's going to be something that at least breaks the ice, and then people can kind of work from there. But do one thing and batch it with one or two or three, but get out there first.
Thank you so much. I feel like I will wear a belly pants tomorrow to my office. One small thing, okay? Yes. So easy.
Looking forward.
Yes. And what is your take? I believe that your energy and on the stage and also the contents they are creating, it's all associated with myself plus 20%. Is there anything you want to add on?
I love what Julia said, being authentic. When I think about AI, it's authentic intentionality.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'll say AIE because energy. People want to feel energized. They want to feel that connection. So I'm a big believer in being you. Everyone else is taken. You can only be yourself. And if you're for everyone, you're really for no one. I know that for me, the thought ran through my mind, am I too much? And the answer is no, I'm just right, just the way I am. I'm going to find, and I found my tribe. I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. But for those people that have high energy, that love to smile, that love the gold mic, we can roll together all day long. And for those that don't, it's okay. Do you, boo-boo. I'm going to do me.
Looking at you, I can't stop smiling. And that energy is really tangible, right? You can transform each other. How about you, Evelyn?
Yeah, I like what Larry has shared. You call it the energy. I call it the wow factor. Yeah, you always have to, come up with something that wow, that can impress your target audience. It's like what Larry says, it's not everyone. It's that one person that you want to target, you want to speak to, and speak to the heart and soul. So that's how the content, right, is gonna influence the people. Yeah, so that's why I always think that people tend to sometimes, I think it's a good start that people start putting content, but sometimes they have no directions. They're trying to fit in to meet everyone's expectations. Then in the end, they didn't get any result and lead to burnout. Yeah, so we need to be very focused and intentional. Who are we speaking to, and the key message that we want to target to the target audience in front of the camera.
Mind blowing. All these keywords I want to stop here. Yes. So I know that if we target everyone, we target no one. And at the end of the day, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as professionals, we are all in different format. We are selling our ideas, our vision, our voice to influence others. So my next question is very naturally flow to Larry. Yes. So what is okay, I have so many questions. I can ask 100 questions, but this one, okay, what is one biggest sales misunderstanding that holding entrepreneurs and speakers back from amplifying their own brand?
Yeah, so a lot of times people's mindset around sales. I ask our viewers, what's your definition of sales? For me, sales is a transfer of energy, and buyers are smart enough. They can smell BS. They can smell when you're not being authentic. As well as sales is service. It's helping, it's guiding, it's supporting, it's serving. That's my definition and perspective of sales. And as entrepreneurs, I think we do what we do so that we can help others. So I encourage folks to realize that selling is helping. It's not scams. I've heard people say this term before. I can sell ice to an Eskimo. Well, why would you do that? An Eskimo doesn't need ice. Why would you sell them something they don't need? The other misconception is that sales is all about talking. We've all, for the most part, been blessed with 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We're designed to listen 2 times as much as we are to talk. So I encourage people, ask the questions and then listen to the answer. That's selling for me.
Really? Is there anything that you can add on? I want to share with our audience that about this B2B concept that is mind blowing. Would you like to explain a little bit? So, what B2B mean to you?
Okay, so most people say that B2B is business to business.
Yes.
In my Steve Harvey Family Feud voice survey says, nah, B2B is belly to belly.
Wow.
Because it's all about the relationships. People like to work with and refer and do business with those people they know, like, trust, and believe in. And the only way that you can build that KLTB factor is to get to know people belly to belly.
Wow, that's impressive and memorable, isn't it? Oh, that stick to my head the moment I hear that. So I want to invite Evelyn and Julia. So is there anything that you would like to own and in your experience on your journey, what people normally misunderstood about sales? And at the end, they hold themselves back.
One of my challenges is I've found sales difficult because being an entertainer and being a person who's out there, we want people to love us and we acknowledge the fact that we're not for everyone, and that's hard. That can be challenging. But one of the things is actually going, when I come off stage, the feedback from people to say, my life was changed. I came away with practical tools and tips. And, all of us as speakers have the capacity to do that. So sort of turning it on its head and going, sales is giving another audience the opportunity to be impacted positively rather than just trying to sell something. What I'm saying is, here's an opportunity. If it doesn't happen, I have to be robust enough to let that go and say, that's fine. You're not, someone else will be for you. But what I'm doing is I'm giving the opportunity. They may have some lives change because of it, and then makes it easier to put myself out there.
Yeah, so for me, something similar. To me, sales is a transfer of love. The Larry's transfer of energy to me is love, because it's a lot of time people thought that doing sales is doing something dirty, or am I selling something dirty, and people think that it's dirty, but it's not true. But it's because we actually want to help them to solve a certain problem, so we offer solutions to them because we love them. So we came from the intention of love. The right people will feel it, and then they will grab it. Yeah, so those people who didn't, like what Julia mentioned, maybe it's not the right divine timing. Maybe not now, maybe later. So I felt that, I feel that the people has to, change their mindset a bit of looking at sales. Look it as a transfer of love to give someone.
I'm so heartwarming, isn't it? We start a conversation with the word sales, and people misunderstood that it's something transactional, but what we are talking about here is all about human connections. It's reach out, it's value offering, it's giving. And is that amazing? So now we have an expert, Evelyn, here, who is content expert. And I know that how Evelyn helps speakers inspire people through their voice and presence. So I have this very interesting question. Have you ever met a client who has a total misunderstanding about visibility? And how did you help them to find their real authority and brand, an authentic brand of themselves?
Yeah, I have met many. I'm not sure about the Western country, but in Singapore, yeah, we still see a lot of people, filming videos like selling their product. Buy from me. This is the best price. It's lowest right now. Come and buy from me. This kind of videos and content. But as you can see, the trend right now, people are so fatigued of looking those videos about, asking people buy, sell. People want to hear the real story behind and feel the human connections. Yeah, because like you say just now earlier on, there's so much content every day. What makes me want to spend my time and energy to look into your content, right? So the things that people have to learn is that what are we really want to send towards the person? Is it just the person to buy it, or a key message for them to know the values of what they are offering? And the most important thing is the human connections, the emotional connections. What do you want them to feel? You want them to laugh? You want them to cry? You want to make them angry so that they can feel you and remember you.
Feel. I think I hear this feeling. People will remember the feeling you bring to them, the experience you've linked to them, right? Through the presence. And by the way, Evelyn made a fantastic speaker reels for me, and I was looking at it. Wow, that's the wow. Is it me? Thank
wow
you
factor.
so much. Yes. Now, you see, I'm so happy that I prepared 5 questions for each of you. I finally can make the time, so I want to go another round. My number 2 questions for each of you. So for Julie, I know people know that mental well-being is so important. People know that they need to stay far away from burnout. And I know your approach is that success is not always about growth, but also about wholeness inside of them. So I'm wondering, and you can share with our audience that, then how can you feel or sense that you are growing at the same time you are still fulfilling and you are whole?
Once again, an amazing question. And I think it's all about finding that balance. And I thought long and hard about this question, and I thought, how do you know? And to me, because other areas of your life continue to flourish. So if only your work is growing, if only your business or your, how you make your living, if that's the thing growing and the other things are shrinking and dying or feeling like it's starting to be a competition, to me that's a sign that there's not that balance there. And I know I've got young adult children and family. I've got a husband. I've got elderly parents and different things. And if I can say that I'm still flourishing in those relationships, to me that's important. So this morning we had an incredible speaker and I was listening, and then we took a little break and we needed to get back, but my daughter called. And she's in Japan at the moment. She was in Japan Disney. And she's like, Mum, can you take a call? And I'm like, absolutely. So if I'd been getting on stage, I would say to her, honey, I'll call you back. She's 26. She's okay with that. But when I can, I don't make it a competition. I don't want my friends to feel like they're competing with my business. I don't want my family to feel like they're competing with their business. And also, I don't want my well-being to feel like it's competing with my business as well. So having some external people in our world, having some other people who will give feedback, who will tell you, I haven't heard from you for a while, we've lost connection, is actually a really great way to maintain that well-being. But what that means is your business can grow, but it can grow in a way that feels safe and sustainable for everyone in your world.
I lost my word. As a mother, that's thought provoking. The competing and how I can sense it. That is my deep question. How I can sense I'm doing good, I'm balancing well. And what you're sharing is that we can sense it in a way that I don't feel that I'm competing with my relationship, my daughter, and I don't push her away that mommy is working. That's always happening in our fast-paced environment. Is that mommy's working, please go out. I'm in Zoom call. Yes. Okay, I need to reflect that. Pause and reflect. So anything that you want to add on? What is your taking in? What are you thinking about after hearing Julia, Larry, or Evelyn? How do you sense when you are growing, but you still sense this is aligned with who am I, and this is fulfilling?
Yes, to me, it's also back to the definition. How do we define success? Success in life. Is it just about business? We 10x our sales, 10x our revenue, but our family, we just ignore them. Or rather, we have a wonderful family life, but our business doesn't do well. So I felt that it's actually a balance in life. If we are able to have one domain is actually linked to another domain. If we are able to have a balanced life, I feel that naturally things will flow, and we will be in the success of flow as well. So it's about balance, having the right balance in our relationship, family, health, and our mindfulness as well, mental health is very important.
It's all connected, and it's flow. Connect, flow, balance. Amazing word. How about you, Larry? I'm
I
wondering.
love what both of you shared around priorities and looking at your finances, your fitness, your family, your friends, your fun. Sometimes we deprioritize fun, philanthropy, and then having that balance and that integration and really being intentional about what do you really want? How do you want your life to be crafted instead of just going through and following wherever the wind throws you? It's having that intentionality. And I love what you shared about relationships. I'm a big believer that contacts turning into contracts is the letter R. And that R is relationships, because people like to work with people that they know, they like, they trust, and believe in. That's that true, genuine relationship.
Wow. We want to hear a little bit more about that relationship. Wow, isn't it wonderful that actually your topic is sales, but we always talk about human connections, relationship, right? So, one thing, if I have one question that I want to add on about you, I cannot, forget about LinkedIn, right? Because LinkedIn is mind-blowing when I look at your LinkedIn. It's not always about the numbers. Yes, you have huge numbers, followers, and more than 300 recommendations. It's my first time see that. So I know it's not numbers, but I know that your sales is about act of love and human connections relationship. What is, with that mindset, how we can show up differently on LinkedIn or other social platform?
Yeah, I love it. Well, I'm LinkedIn Larry, so I can only speak about LinkedIn. But what I found is that the more that I give and I give and I give with no intention of receiving, the more I receive. It's absolutely amazing. So I don't know if y'all have ever experienced this, but I went to the bank one time and I tried to withdraw $500. And the bank tellers laughed at me. They said, Larry, you haven't made enough deposits in order to withdraw $500. I was so embarrassed. Now we're laughing, but think about how sometimes in relationships, personal and professional, we go to withdraw $500 in the relationship, but we haven't given. we haven't given to the relationship. We haven't served. We haven't been thoughtful. So I have something called the 3-minute challenge. Every day, you find one person, and all you got to do is take 3 minutes to intentionally surprise and delight them. You're making a relationship deposit. So now you build up equity in relationships so that when the time comes, you can now ask and receive.
Yes. I remember that, Larry, how you do that connection just now as a testimony, as an example. Then I remember very deeply that the intention is really to checking in a very simple message. And without any intention of, I'm not here to sell anything, it's really connecting.
I'm here to serve. I'm here to give.
Right.
And one way on LinkedIn that I love is video. Vid to win. We're speakers. We're thought leaders. We should be on video because now people can really feel. They can sense your authenticity. They can tell if you really love them or if you're just BSing them. People don't like to be BS. They want the real deal, authentic you.
Yes, it's not always that we have come up with an agenda, then we start to connect. I think we don't have deposit already to withdraw anything. Wow, that is a very fun, simple, but very strong metaphor. Thank you, Larry. So let's move to Evelyn. In the age of AI, there are so many AI tools that people can leverage, contents create, editing, even there's avatar thing. So what is your advice for people that how to balance AI versus their own voice and humanity in their building their personal brand?
So a lot of people also say that to me, that AI is going to replace your job, right? But I always answer to them, no, it's actually not AI that replaces our job. AI actually assists us and help us to lessen the workload that we have. It's the people that using AI is going to replace us. So we have to elevate ourselves, upgrade our skill to use AI in our content creation. So right now, to answer back your question, right now a lot of people just using ChatGPT or DeepSeek to just came up with content blindly, just like type in how me to generate content. So that's why the video that came out, it sounds very robotic. That's the situation right now. So how do I use AI? Is basically I will use those top viral video. I'm going to share the secrets over here. I'll just keep it within the room. I will use the top viral video instead to put it into the AI and ask them to make it videos to my tone, to my voice, and to the target audience that I want to speak to with my message. And the AI will come out with the hook, with the body, with the tone, with the style, with totally brand new thing as speak as Evelyn. But of course, that is just the backbone of a video content. The real person like us, we have to still be in front of the camera and show our emotions. And every inch of muscles that's moving, people will know, people can see it. So I know that there's AI avatar and it still look a bit robotic for now. But I believe that AI will evolve, okay, to make it look more natural. So it's always go back to the stories, the B-rolls that we have, supporting footages that we have to represent the whole story content. Yeah, instead of just talking heads, with a few words. Tip number 1, tip number 2, tip number 3, people are so fatigued of this kind of video, especially speakers and trainers. This is some of the traps that we have to take note about.
Yes, that's deeply resonant. I think what I'm hearing from you is leveraging AI tools. That's a powerful reframing. And what really memorable is that it's about our story. Our story, our own journey cannot replaced by AI because it's my story, my journey. Wow, that is very heartwarming and very resonant. So I think we have very good conversations about branding, connections, relationship, balancing. I want to have a little bit fun here so that we are speakers. Yes, let's do it. Let's do a rapid fire. So you only can speak 1 or 2 keywords. I can be generous as like one short sentence. So we'll take turns from maybe Larry to Evelyn, and we'll make another one round. Okay, let's ready. Okay.
We're ready.
So 1 to 2 keyword. Okay. So what is one word to describe your personal branding?
Energy. Energy, energy, energy.
Oh, that's already 3 words. Okay, I consider one short sentence. Okay.
Jelly. Yeah.
Why jelly?
So there's jellies on everything, and the concept of the jelly is that people are designed to wobble. Jellies are designed to wobble, but they're really hard to get back on the plate. So if we can recognise our wobbly point, so you'll see jellies on everything, and it supports the concept.
Thought-provoking. So we
Yes.
can't stop asking. I know the rule, but okay, we
This is
ask the
something new to
question.
me. Yes.
Okay, what's about-
Mine is empowering. Yes.
Empowering.
Yes.
Okay, change the gear. What is your favorite AI tool and why?
Larry GPT. No, Chat GPT. That's where I've experimented the most. I'm starting to get into Perplexity, and some of the sessions have talked about some new AI tools, at least new to me, that I'll be able to play around with.
Perplexity as well, and looking for new. I'm fascinated to talk to you more about those video ones. So always open to learn.
Yeah, for me, it's ChatGPT and DeepSeek. I'm still training my DeepSeek, but because ChatGPT came out earlier, so there's most of my data inside. So whatever question that I ask, they're able to answer me clearly. Yeah.
I thought that Evelyn will have tons of AIs. It's very difficult.
I'm a little bit biased now.
Yeah, yes. Okay. What is one social platform that you'll never give up and why?
LinkedIn. I'm LinkedIn Larry. I get over 90% of my business from relationships that have been developed on LinkedIn. So I'm starting to shift a little bit to my email and email newsletter, my website, but LinkedIn is my platform.
This is a hard one because of the changing times, and so Facebook was actually, even though people say it's a bit of a dinosaur, that was where a huge amount of my fan base were created. And so I've got these thousands of people who are on there, and they're not just general followers, they're in my tribe, they're in my corner. So yeah, I there may come a day when we move from to something else and I use other platforms, but I do still love that Facebook page.
For me, Instagram. Yeah, you can see the generation differences now. Yes, because Instagram, there's I have 80 to 90% of fan base there as well, and there's IG story. So Instagram is always the place for people who have exciting life to, show and stories to engage people, and with the feed as well. So my day to day is very busy and a lot of excitement. So I love to post on story, and from there to get some leads and sales as well.
It's very diverse, isn't it? So this is let's do a metaphor. If your brand has a soundtrack, what would be the vibe look like?
Oh, this is easy. I know that you're the musician, but for me, it would be Pharrell because I'm happy.
Oh, nice. That's amazing.
That's my theme song.
Yeah, you look very happy.
Very connected.
Yes, yes.
Associated.
Yeah, to me that weird blend between the tearing and the heartbreak and that, but also then the fun. So mine always comes down to the colour. The song becomes the girl on the kitchen floor, which is what I do. But I also sing true colours, and I love that true colours. It's kind of poignant, but it's also got that fun, and it's kind of got that Cyndi Lauper wacky vibe. So that kind of sums me up too.
Mine is a lot of, the soundtrack, right? It's Unstoppable from Sia. Yeah, I love the song, and it's really, it's to empower people because my content is a lot of empowering because I want more positive content being shared instead to share the words of love and light to empower them to grow together. Yeah, so there's Unstoppable.
I can sense the flow here is a very, very resonate with each other. It's so very associated. And since we're on this topic of soundtrack, I want to ask this very special question, additional question to Julia. And your song, that Girl on the Kitchen Floor, is really touching. And it makes people so deeply connected with themselves. And there's a magic that it can make people cry and tearing. So what is the magic? What do you believe that why this song is so magical, let people deeply connected and emotional and teary?
It's interesting, the journey. When I speak, when I do my keynotes, there's a few key things that I need to do to make Girl on the Kitchen Floor land. And one of the things I need to do right at the beginning is I need to share a bit of my story. And no matter what I'm speaking on, at this conference, speaking to speakers, that's one thing. I might be speaking to people in a corporate sense or at a women's event. And if I can start with them understanding how I got to the kitchen floor, and having a little bit of that story at the beginning, even though sometimes it's like, why is she telling us this? Because give me an hour and you'll find out. At the end of the session, something will land. And I think for me, that song came to me almost fully formed. I probably wrote it in about 5 to 10 minutes. It just landed in my lap after this incredible heartbreak. And it makes me, it makes me emotional every time I sing it. Because it's come from the heart. But it's also a combination of decades of hard work, So for me, that's my superpower. But I recognise that for every speaker, they've got something like that. They've got a girl on the kitchen floor in their way. They might have a story, they might have a signature move, they might have a gold microphone, they might have the most incredible content in the world, and that's the thing that lands. So for me, it's kind of really obvious because it's a guitar and a song, and I do love singing it so much because it's my favourite thing. But I also love and respect the fact that everybody comes to that place in different ways. So I think using what you've got, committing to it, working really hard at it, and making sure that it cuts a little close to the bone. If you've ever been grating a carrot and you get to that last little bit of the carrot and you go, ooh, and you hit your knuckles and it's sort of something inside you goes, ooh. And to me, when I sing that song, it goes, ooh, it's a little bit sore, but it's not too painful. So I love to be able to set it up, take my audience with me, and then carry them through and out the other side. It's a privilege and an honour.
I finally found the secret sauce. So I want to wrap up this rapid fire. Let's do real rapid fire at the minimum for the last question. Can we do it?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So what amplify mean in personal branding? 1 to 2 keyword.
Elevate and showcase.
Oh, yes.
I'd say global visibility.
I think Larry reads my mind. I would say, elevate your influence.
Put on here. So I want to wrap up. We're on time. I want to wrap up in this one common questions. If there's one thing, just one thing that you want our audience to remember and do it today to amplify their brand, what is that one thing you want our audience to remember and do it immediately today?
For me, the one thing, if you don't do anything else, it's get on video one-to-one with other people. Not one-to-many, but one-to-one on video where they can see you and they can feel you and they can know you. For me, that's been a game changer on LinkedIn. So sending one-to-one video messages, do it right now. It doesn't need to be polished. You don't need to get your hair done. My barber's mad at me, but just being authentically you, it will be an absolute game changer. And I promise you, there's no promises, nothing guaranteed in life, but I promise you, if you do it, it's going to be a mic drop moment.
Oh, for me, it's pick that one little thing and put it everywhere. So to me, when I chose Be Kind to Your Mind, when that kind of developed into my branding, I put it everywhere. At the bottom of every post, Julia Grace, Be Kind to Your Mind. Everything has it on there. Everything's got a jelly on there. And that repetitive consistency makes people remember, and then that becomes memorable for them. So if you've got a beautiful logo, put it on everything. And just, it doesn't have to be in the middle, but put it subtly there.
Well, for me, I was still very moved by what Juliet shared. Yeah, so there's some message that I got that I felt that is actually to stay calm, connect with their heart, and get the inspiration and do it as a content to amplify to the world. Thank you.
Wow. It's a challenging job for me today. You know why? There are so many inspirations. There are so many human connections and relations. And I'm active listening person as a coach, but it's so challenging for me to not digesting, because every word that you speak is so inspiring and thought provoking and is thinking through. And I do believe that our audience feel the same way. And again, I want to thank you for Larry, Julia, and Evelyn, our amazing, incredible, lovely speakers, panelists today to wrap up this conversation. And thank you for everyone that watching and listening this series of Amplify Imagination Podcast, where the ideas ignite, where the voice become more stronger and powerful, and the future will be more louder. So everyone, keep dreaming, keep daring, and keep amplifying.
Hey, bye. Thank you.